When I was in college, it was shortly after 9/11 occurred, and I wanted to help contribute to solving the whole terrorism problem, among other things. And one of the things I learned existed was there was a lot of different intelligence organizations. And so I'd say about halfway through my college career, I did a there was a what do you put it? I guess like a seminar, like a learn about us at the DoD that I went to. And I asked them at the time, they're like, does anyone have any questions? I'm like, well, I'm an English major, so I don't know what I could do. And they're like, hey, I was too. I was like, wow. They're like, so they said there's a lot of opportunities. And if you can set yourself apart, go ahead and do that. And so I did. I found out that one of the biggest needs that the intelligence community needed at the time was people who understood Arabic. And I did probably the most rigorous intensive I've ever done in my life for learning a language, where I spent the entire summer, and I'm talking 12 to 14 hours a day through a summer program at University of Maryland learning Arabic.
Before this, did you have did you have inclination to wanna speak a foreign language? Like, were you like, "I wanna
But
learn many foreign languages."
so it's funny you brought that up. Our high school made us do the equivalent of majors, right?
Oh.
Of like a focus for study. And I picked foreign language because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And foreign language had the least amount of required classes. So I could do whatever I wanted with all the other classes. So
Okay.
I did it. And my focus was on Spanish. My Spanish is terrible. I once got a 0 on an exam where it was like poor or para. And it means four, right? In English. And I got a 0 on it because I had no idea. And then the teacher came to me, lovely woman, and said, well, you actually got a 100%. I said, please tell me how this wonderful thing happened.
In Spanish, 0.
I know, right? She said, well, you just had it backwards in your head. So just switch up how you think it and you'll be fine. And I was like, I don't think you understand. I have no idea when to use poor and when to use para. And I just lucked out in getting a 0, I guess, like statistically. I didn't say that out loud, but I took the grade. So no, the answer is like not really.
Okay.
But
So sorry, I interrupted. You were learning
no, I
Arabic.
wanted to get in intelligence. It's a valid question. The irony was, as I was learning Arabic that summer, all my Spanish came back to me, and they put us in the Spanish rooms, and I could read everything that was on the walls, and I was like, wow, I guess I did learn Spanish. Awesome. Um, and so I did that, and it helped beef up my resume, and I thought I'd get in on a linguistic thing, a linguistic internship or something. And I spent the next 2 years applying for every internship, and I got through all my background investigation and security clearance stuff. And I remember going to a meeting and they said, I need 5 interns. You're number 6. And I was like, oh,
No.
okay. So I graduated, and I had no idea what I was going to do. And then I was called by the Department of Defense literally 2 days before I graduated. And they're like, what are you up to? And I said, well, I think I'm going to work at Nordstrom and sell suits. And they said, what if you come in and talk to us? I went in, and come to find out, my whole background investigation had been completed and my clearance had been adjudicated. So if I had found any kind of job at the DoD in the next month or two, I could just start. And so they put me in as an analyst at NSA. And I didn't know a single thing about computers, not a thing. This is how backwards I was, Dustin. And this is what I try to tell my students. This is why I teach at night. I was so backwards with cybersecurity and IT in general, that I knew I was lost. Like I knew I didn't know what I was doing. And then, so I was like, well, they pay for master's degrees at nighttime. So I'll go get a master's degree. That'll help. And I got a master's degree in government, and it didn't help because it wasn't computers, but I picked the wrong one. And, so everyone, whenever I tell them I have 2 master's degrees, they think it's like, you must be really motivated
Nope.
because I got the wrong one the first time. And so that's kind of how I got in. And then from there, I started to learn on the job and through a couple deployments. And then, after a while, that's when I met you, when we were doing that type of work. And over
Mhm,
time,
mhm.
I did that second master's degree in cybersecurity. And then we ended up at ISACA together after I sold Packet Hunters. And it's been wonderful ever since. Now we're at BlueVoyant. It's been a pretty great experience overall.
Yeah,
All
and
because I wanted to help out after